Speaking with Rest the Case, where we bring real conversations about the law, the people who practice it, and the reforms that shape our justice system. Today, we're talking about something that affects lakhs of young professionals across India, the future of legal profession, and what young lawyers truly need to thrive. From mentorship gaps to technology adoption, from work culture challenges to structural reforms. Young lawyers are redefining what it means to build a meaningful career in law. And yet, many of their struggles remain unheard. To explore this deeply, we've been joined by Advocate Saurabh Sharma, who is a TEDx speaker and has worked closely with young legal professionals and advocates for better, more modern, and more humane legal ecosystem. So, welcome, sir, to the podcast today. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you
to
for
have you.
inviting me.
And we're looking forward to you giving us more insights and some guidance to the legal professions on how they can, create a career out of law, as you have done so successfully. So let's start by talking about what do you think are the biggest challenges that young lawyers, face today when entering the legal profession.
Well, if you ask me, I have a very positive approach. I don't think there are any challenges
Right,
because challenges are there in every walk of life,
right.
whatever profession you choose for yourself.
Hmm.
If you work hard, if you have the skills that are required for the profession,
Hmm.
there are no challenges in fact. So, the key here is to work hard, to hone your skills while you are in the law college, to
Right,
gain as much exposure and experience with internships and guided learning.
right.
That is the key here. So, after that, I don't think there are any challenges that a new because I am also a first generation lawyer.
Right.
Uh, yes, I was blessed with very good seniors who guided me in the initial phase of my career. But if you have the skills and the confidence, then there's no stopping.
Right. So, would you then still say that? I mean, I'm sure you also faced certain challenges when trying to enter the legal profession. Do you think the challenges still remain, or have they evolved into different challenges, or they're no more there?
There are certain issues which were not talked a lot
Right.
earlier.
Right.
2 decades ago, when I began my career, and even before that, every fresh lawyer faces one challenge, that is income.
Correct.
He needs to have his kitchen running.
Correct.
But these days, there's a lot of talk among the senior advocates. Even the Supreme Court has time and again thrown light over it. And bar councils are also doing their bit. In various bar councils, there are stipends provided to the young eligible
Right.
lawyers. So that is an area where work is being done,
Hmm.
and which is the need of the hour, because there are various lawyers who do not have a strong background, financial background, and they need something to keep them encouraged and vested in the profession.
Right. So you mentioned that you had good seniors and mentors who kind of helped you and
Mhm.
guided you into being successful in this career. So do you think that mentorship really affects how your career as a lawyer shapes out to be? Do you think that it's important to have
It
someone?
is very crucial, it is very important, and it is the most basic thing that is required for a
Right.
young lawyer,
Right.
because a gardener, when he sows a seed,
Hmm.
he lets the plant grow on its own, and then there is chopping and cutting of the branches
Right.
to shape it better, to make it
Right.
help shape better. So that work is done by a mentor.
Correct.
The mentor, you learn by watching the mentor, you learn by watching him argue in the courts, you learn by watching the hard work that he puts in, the number of hours that he puts in the office.
Right.
So you learn by every act of his. So the mentorship is yes, it is required.
Hmm. Do you think, with the law schools today, do you think it's a good idea to maybe incorporate certain mentorship programs along with their traditional curriculum that they have?
Yes, they are already imbibed in their
Yeah.
curriculum. There are internships. The students even go to the national human rights commissions for their internship. They go to the police department, and they also take visits to prisons of the state. So that is imbibed in the culture, the curriculum already,
Right.
and that is very much required, because it is through these processes only that the lawyers learn the culture, the work culture, the environment,
Right.
the roles of all the officers that are working in the courts. How does the elmot function? How does the reader function? How does the court clerk function? The judges' attitude towards the lawyers, the decorum of the court, that is to be learned through practice.
Correct, correct. And do you think that the law schools today, their curriculum or how they sort of train their students, is it enough, or is it preparing the students for how the legal ecosystem is today, or do you think there needs to be more done there?
One thing I'm not very happy with is that in the law schools, the focus is more on the placement side.
Right,
In corporate firms,
right,
there are no there are very less number of students who are interested in coming to litigation. Whereas litigation is the field where a lawyer thrives,
correct,
where he earns a name.
correct.
In a corporate law firm, you can earn a good money in the initial phase of your career.
Yeah.
But if you want to build a name for yourself, litigation is the field
Yeah.
where one must come.
Yeah, I mean, slightly playing the devil's advocate here, but as you rightly mentioned, placements, or a lot of students today choose to, work for, say, corporates as
Mhm.
legal counsel, or they join corporate firms. Do you think that is because there is not enough money, or not enough that young lawyers can earn via litigation? So do you think that could be a reason why they prefer to go to corporate side more?
There are various factors, and the factors are individual to every person.
Right.
Some, I mean, the first thing is insecurity.
Yeah.
The security, the financial insecurity that every young students, no matter from any field,
Right.
whether he be an engineer or a copywriter or any student who has just graduated from the college, he faces such insecurities before he lands a job. And due to that insecurity, people go for law firms. Apart from that, there is also peer pressure. If there are four friends,
Correct.
one is an engineer, one is a lawyer, third is an MBA, then the lawyer will always feel insecure because his friends are earning a lot of money in the
Yeah.
very initial phase of their career,
Yeah.
whereas he is only getting peanuts as a stipend
Yeah.
for running with the seniors' files across the courts.
Yeah.
So basically, that is the reason that now students jump into
Yeah.
corporate
I
law
mean, I've
firm.
heard from some friends of mine, who are already lawyers, or even younger students who are still studying. Their biggest sort of complaint is that there isn't enough resources for them to get into litigation, or even if they do, like you said, they're not getting paid enough, and the work in comparison to that is a lot. So, do you still think it is still worth, young lawyers entering litigation rather than going for, say, your corporate firms?
Look, whenever a young lawyer comes to me for seeking career advice, I always ask him two questions. Whether you want to earn a name for yourself or you want to earn money. If you want to earn a name for yourself, then patience is the key here.
Yeah.
You will have to go through at least 8 years of your career with no demands. You
Right.
will not have the negotiation power as far as the legal fees or charges are concerned. But after that, there is no stopping you, and you can command your fees as well, and you will get referral from your existing clients. But 8 years of continuous practice with patience is required.
Right. And in terms of the skills that young lawyers need to build, do you think there is any skills that they need to develop today, which they did not say, which were not required, say, some years back? Do you think that there are some skills
Yes, post the epidemic
Yeah.
after the COVID-19,
Yeah.
virtual conference is a must.
Right.
The students, the other day I was addressing students regarding their resume building
Hmm.
in GD Goenka University, Gurgaon.
Yeah.
So there, I also told them that you should be well conversant with Cisco WebEx, which is the software that is required for attending the virtual hearings in Delhi
Right.
and even the Honorable Supreme Court of India.
Hmm.
So if you will put in your resume that I know this software, I know how it functions, and I am well equipped with that,
Yeah.
so that will be an added advantage in your resume.
Definitely.
Apart from that, the softwares for searching of judgments,
Hmm.
search engines, whether it be Manupatra or Legal or SCC Online, the students, they also learn in their college also how to do the research
Yeah.
work for the judgments. So that is also required. Apart from that, these days AI and Chat GPT are also being called the need of the hour.
Yeah.
But I would say that lesser reliance should be placed on them. And if any pleading is drafted using them, they should always be rechecked with the source.
Right.
Because recently there was a judgment, if you know, where the income tax department had levied a penalty on
Yeah.
an SSE
Yeah.
based on a judgment taken out from Chat GPT,
Yeah,
which was
not existing.
which never existed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that should not be the scenario.
Correct. So, like you mentioned rightly so, that technology is something that is a skill should be definitely learned by lawyers. Do you, in your experience, do you think there are any skills that are overlooked by young lawyers who are trying to enter the profession, where you think that a lot of times, like you said, technology is something, or like these specific applications which they should know? Do you think there is anything else which they sort of miss out on, which would make them into successful professionals?
Look, during the college, students think that while we are in the college, we should make the most of it,
Yeah.
bunking the classes and enjoying movies.
Yeah.
That is also required.
Yeah.
But apart from that, they should also participate in more and more debates and
Right.
extempore activities,
Right.
so that they learn the skill of addressing the public,
Correct.
because they have to argue in the courts at the
Yeah,
end of it.
yeah.
So the confidence building is to be done during the college only.
Hmm.
You can have the knowledge of the books, but until and unless you learn the art of advocacy, the art of advancing arguments, the art of cross-examining
Yeah.
a witness, though that is also to be learned with the mentor while watching him do the cross-examination in the courts. So these skills are very much required
Right.
for the litigation.
Right. Right. So building those skills in college is, and I think colleges have enough opportunities for students to be able to build
Yes,
these
there are
skills.
youth festivals and
Correct. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be academic in nature.
Yes, yes.
It can be that they attend fest or events and be part of the committees, which will help them then build skills.
these
like
days, even apart from the colleges, there are so many social media
Yeah.
platforms, and there are so many gigs happening
Mhm.
across the city.
Yeah.
Poetry, storytelling, and whatnot.
Correct. Correct.
So a person can build his confidence by going
Yeah,
through those
definitely.
events.
Definitely. I mean, I don't think a lot of people think that lawyers need to not have stage fright. So if they're confident enough to go and speak in front of a crowd, I think that would really help
Yes,
them.
yes, certainly
their
it does.
career.
Certainly.
Yeah. And how important do you think are analytical and research-based skills for legal professionals? Because in other careers, like that is a different sort of skill. Like if you want to go into academia or research, but is it crucial for lawyers to have research-based skills, especially if they're going into litigation?
Look, research part is required more or less as far as the searching for the legal precedents is
Right.
required.
Right.
Apart from that, while working on a background of a case,
Hmm.
sometimes a research is required.
Yeah.
And apart from that, the analytical abilities of a lawyer are more or less dependent on the common sense.
Right.
a lawyer should have a basic common sense, and that is all which helps a lawyer in contesting a case. Because while being in the court and while addressing the argument
Hmm.
or even cross examining a witness, common sense comes into play.
Right.
You have to be hands on with the judge or the litigant. So that is the basic trait that a lawyer should
Right.
have.
So you're saying common sense
Yes.
is something that
yes,
should
yes.
be there.
Yes.
I mean, I think it should be there with all the citizens, but lawyers would help to be more. Um, to end, what is one advice you would like to give to students who are still in law school, or maybe say school students who are looking at law as a potential profession? What is like one advice that you would like to give these students?
I would give them two advice.
Yeah.
Firstly, they should not fear
Right.
that there is a lot of competition in the field.
Hmm.
If you have the traits, you have the skills,
Hmm.
you can certainly flourish.
Right.
You just need to be patient and work hard.
Right.
And the second advice I would give is there is no shortcut to success. You have to work hard.
Right. And thank you so much, Advocate Saurabh Sharma, for sharing your insights. I'm sure this conversation will help a lot of aspiring young legal professionals to get guidance on how they can be successful. And as we've heard today, the legal profession is definitely changing and in the right direction. But the work that is needed, I think, remains the same. And like you mentioned, that there is no alternative to hard work and patience, and more so in this profession. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow Rest the Case for more conversations that inspire, inform, and push the profession forward. Until next time, stay curious, stay committed, and always rest the case.